a bunch of crazy stories written by the Brothers Grimm. And now you're gonna learn all about them, listening to the Brothers Dim.
Students and scholars, friends and relations, welcome to the Brothers Dim podcast, where we look at the beloved collection of fairy tales collected and written down by the Brothers Grimm in the early 19th century in Germany, including this week's story number 58, The Dog and the Sparrow. My name is Phil.
And my name is Mike.
Mike, how are you doing?
I suppose I'm doing okay. Work's a little nutty, but...
Tell me about that.
Oh, I can't even begin. New product launch, and as we get closer, there's just constant panic about performance of is it going to sell? Is it selling? It's not selling. What do we do?
Okay. Computers and such.
Yes, computers and such.
Okay.
I shipped a production bug today.
Okay.
So that was neat. Took down
you shipped a production bug?
Yes, I shipped a bug to production. It was not my bug.
Okay.
This is a snowball of fuckery that I didn't have anything to do with, except that I was the one who pulled the trigger to release it.
Okay. I guess I don't know what shipped means then in that context.
Deployed, pushed out.
Okay. All right.
I released, unleashed.
You did an update, and then the update had some fuckery that someone else did before you.
Yes.
And then that caused.
I released a bunch of stuff that I was not informed I would be releasing.
I like living where I live in my brain, in which computers are just kind of magic. I understand
they still are.
Electricity runs through silicon in certain ways that I get Zelda on my TV screen. But also, I wanted to say something.
Sure.
To our beloved fans. Assuming we haven't chased you all off by having a big break, I apologize for the absences. We've tried very hard at the Brothers Dim to have quality programming for you, but as we don't get paid for this, we do our best.
And we also have lives.
We do have lives. Like if this was my job, that would be a very different story. But we do have lives, including many children. I mean, I have one and you have two, but that's a lot. That's 3 kids total.
Yes,
and
that is.
Kids take up a whole lot of time.
They do. They do.
Well, anyways,
to be honest, though, I would love for this to be my job.
Oh my God! If this was just my job, if Conan O'Brien came to us and said, "Hey, I've got a channel on Sirius XM," and they said, "Hey, Phil and Mike, how would you like to have a weekly show where we pay you $250,000 each to do this?" I don't even know what I honestly don't know what Hollywood people get paid.
I would do it for a little less than that, honestly.
Yeah, no, I would do it for less than that. Yeah. I was reaching for the stars on that one. That'll be our opening salvo when we start negotiating. I'll say,
totally. Yeah.
$250,000. And then and then I'll say something like this. I'll say, which is reasonable for a podcast, correct? And he'll say, of course. And I'll say, oh, okay, good. And he'll walk away going like, sucker, I would have paid them $400,000 a year. Anyways.
Yeah. I'm not in this for the money though.
No, I'm not into this podcast for the money. That's for sure. Then thank God we're not, for all of our fans that are listening. Because there's Mike, let's get back to it. Would you, if you would be so kind, take us through the plot of Grimm's story number 58, The Dog and the Sparrow?
It would delight me to no end. The Dog and the Sparrow. Okay, so there's a sheepdog. He has a very poor master who cannot feed him. So he decides he's going to go away out into the world because he's not getting anything at home. He's on the road not long, and he meets a sparrow. He tells him about his hunger and his woes. The sparrow says, "All right, come with me. Dear brother, come into the town with me and I will satisfy your hunger." So they head into town. The sparrow goes to the butcher's stall, steals a couple pieces of meat from the butcher. Dog eats it up. He's happy, but he's still a little hungry. Complains he hasn't had any bread yet. So the sparrow steals a couple of rolls from the baker as well. Dog is finally sated. So they walk out of town, and shortly the dog gets tired because he's all full. The sparrow suggests that he take a nap. He'll hang out in the tree. Dog lays down in the middle of the road and falls asleep. Before long, a wagon comes flying down the road, driven by 3 horses. It's carrying two barrels of wine. The sparrow cries out to the wagoner to stop or he will make him poor. But the wagoner disagrees and speeds on, running over and killing the dog.
Oh,
I know, right?
I know.
Sparrow gives chase. He flies under the cover of the wagon and pecks at one of the wine casks until the cork comes out and leaks everything. Driver looks back and sees that one of the barrels of wine is all emptied and proclaims, "Oh, what an unfortunate man I am." And the sparrow replies, "Not unfortunate enough yet," and heads to one of the horses and pecks out its eyes. The wagoner grabs an axe, tries to kill the bird. The sparrow dodges, and the driver instead buries the axe in the blind horse's head, killing it outright. "Oh, what an unfortunate man I am. Not unfortunate enough yet." They repeat this dance with the other wine cask, then a second horse, and finally the third horse, pecking its eyes out and then getting an axe in the head. So now the man has no wine, no horses. He realizes he now has to leave his wagon and walk home. The sparrow heads there ahead of him. He is not done. When the man arrives at home, he tells his wife the whole story. She says, "Well, yeah, the sparrow gathered every bird nearby, and they have all come here and devoured all of our saved corn. Oh, what an unfortunate man I am. Not unfortunate enough yet. Wagoner, it shall cost you your life," the sparrow says. Man goes into his home angry. Sparrow sits outside the window and taunts him with, it will cost you your life. The man he hasn't had enough of these axes. He throws an axe through the window. Sparrow now flies inside, taunting him over and over. The man swings wildly around the house with the axe, destroying all his furniture and walls. Finally, the man catches the sparrow. His wife asks if she should kill it, and the man says he has a more cruel death in store for it. He swallows it whole. The sparrow flutters about inside him, of course, then back up into his mouth. The man gives the axe to his wife and tells her to kill the bird, but she swings and misses and buries the axe in his head, killing him. And with that, the sparrow flew away. The end.
What a delightful story. Do you have a grade?
I liked this one a little more than usual. I gave this one sort of I was on the B plus A minus line right there. What about yourself?
Yeah, grade A.
Yeah.
I like this one a lot. And I'm going to tell you why. And it goes into my moral. Revenge is good. And not only that, but do not take half a revenge.
No.
If you're gonna take revenge, go all the fuck in.
You got to commit.
And just escalate with every single possible breath.
Yeah, I got Be Kind to Others.
Okay.
Early on, we talked about how animals are clearly better than humans. I think this is one of those cases. But one interesting read I had was the dog too greedy and thus causing his own death? So he's very thankful for the meat, and then he just kind of gets whiny. He's like, "But I haven't had bread yet."
I mean, if he's still hungry,
yeah,
I don't think there's that much problem with asking for bread, because I don't think he was like, "Oh, and if you don't give me bread, I'll eat you, little bird."
That's where I thought it was going at first.
No, and he's just like, "Oh, I just I wish I had a little bread." And the sparrow's like, "Yeah, I'll get you some bread." I will say this: I had 3 total morals.
All right.
Number 1, the revenge is good. We've gone through that.
Yeah.
Number 2, though, don't take naps in the middle of the road.
There is that. Yeah.
Just it was a bad place. It's a bad place to go. Now I'm going to get into this guy right now, actually.
All right.
If you're the type of person who's willing to kill dogs, you get what you deserve.
Oh, totally.
I don't even like my dog. And in a million years, I wouldn't hurt her. I will have Zoe for the next 15 years and then never have another dog again because of how much I dislike this dog. But I would never, ever hurt her.
Right.
And this guy doesn't even try to stop. He sees the dog and he's like, "Oh, time to hit the gas."
Yeah. Yeah. No,
he
whips the horses. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not that hard to get horses to stop. I've ridden horses before.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been in a 3-horse drawn carriage. So I assume it takes a little bit of time to stop. But I mean, if he had tried to stop and he had to hit the dog.
Yeah. Try to stop, hit the dog, show remorse. Yeah.
That's a real different situation. That he's just like, "Ha ha. Look at me, all Christy Noem. This was just a dog trying to take a nap in the
Right.
stupidest spot possible, but you
True.
also don't have to hit the gas.
I better
Make sure
hurry.
you-
He might move.
Make sure you kill him extra good. I had a line that made me laugh.
I don't think I did. I mean,
Really?
not in particular. What did you have?
Okay. The sparrow pecked so long at the bunghole of one of the casks that he got the bung out.
I specifically used cork and and all that because
Instead of bung. Yeah, no, I noticed that.
Yeah.
So yeah, a bunghole is the hole in the cask. The bung is a cork. And I get why we call it something different. I get why the bunghole is funny now to us.
Wouldn't you think they would load it bung side up? Like,
I
why
think
in
they
hell
usually-
would you? I don't know.
Generally you would. And not only that, like just bung side up completely, right? Like in the air so that even if the bung fell out,
Right.
it's not
Or
ready
is
to be
pecked
tapped.
out by a vengeful sparrow.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It would just be it would be like opening up a soda can.
Yeah, I mean, little will spill, but you'll have most of it. There's a lot of physics problems in this, actually. The very kill the bird in my mouth for me.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about this. The bird is in his mouth, and he says, "Here, kill it with this axe." And it says that she misses. I don't think she missed. I think she would have still cleaved his jaw off if she'd hit the bird.
When he was like, I will eat you. Eats the bird. I for sure thought that the sparrow was going to eat his way out of that guy.
I did too.
And then it didn't, he just got up to the mouth, and then the dude was just like, "Oh, hit me in the mouth as hard as you can with that axe."
Because nothing has gone wrong with this axe today.
I don't know what the plan was.
It's not covered with
Exactly.
horse blood and broken glass.
It was the worst. It was the worst plan I'd ever heard in Grimm's, and I think that it was one of those things where they were last call because they were telling this story at the bar.
They're like, then what happened?
like-
I don't know.
Can I tell you something that I liked a lot?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. The bird is just someone that this dog met on the road.
Yes. It was
Not
a
as-
very sweet little friendship.
Nothing crazy happened. The bird was just like, "Okay, cool. We're officially friends." And
Yeah.
by the way, to explain, being friends with me comes with the full friend package.
Right. I will
Like, I was
procure
like,
things for you.
What do you mean? He's like, "I would die for you, sir."
I would take a bullet for you. And if I failed in that, I would go to the ends of the earth to make whoever. I mean, this is basically, it's like an early John Wick,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would. You and I became friends pretty quickly, I think, just because I met you at a goth club.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before. And I said, "Hey, aren't you that guy that I talked at college that I talked to about like a Kevin Smith movie?" It was it might have been Clerks at that point. And you said, "No, but I do love Clerks. So if you would like to talk about Clerks, let's talk about Clerks." And so we sat down on the couch and let's just be amazing friends for the next 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah, totes. To the point where I can say
Oh.
totes and you don't even call me out on it.
I'm not going to. Yeah, you're one of my best friends.
Oh, you know what is missing from this that is in a lot of Grimm stories is typically that would come with strings. The sparrow would do all this stuff for the dog and then be like, "Well, now that you've had your fill, here's what I need. Something.
Yeah.
I need you to fetch the golden princess with the golden horse and the golden cock."
Or more specifically, if we're talking about this, there was a story a couple stories ago. I think it was number 48, Old Sultan. It might have been 49. Relative, not that many stories ago. Do you remember that one?
No.
So Old Sultan was
Oh,
a
is that
dog.
the old dog?
He was an old dog. He lost his
Yes.
teeth and he met a wolf.
Yep.
And the wolf and him had like some adventures where they said, "Okay, well," the wolf is like, "I'll steal the baby. You pretend to fight me and get the baby back, and then they'll like you. But then please give me but I'll do that for you. They won't kill you because the mom's going to be so thrilled with you. All you got to do to repay me is throw me a couple of chickens and we'll call it even. You're the hero. You're alive. But I'm hungry too." And originally the dog agrees, but when it comes time to pay, Old Sultan, the other dog, said, "Yeah, I know I said I would give you a couple of chickens, but I realize they're not really mine to give, so I can't do that." And then that's when they kind of had a war. No, this bird is just in for it. He's just like, "Nope, okay, great." And then the dog dies, and the bird says, "You have killed my friend."
My friend of a half hour.
Doesn't matter how long, half hour or 20 years. It's all the same. He was one of my best friends. I love that dog. And now you're just going to fucking die, sir. And
Yeah.
not only that, but
I was looking for a reason to kill today.
yeah. Chaotic good, I think is how you might describe that Sparrow.
Yeah. Yeah. I did see a reference to, in certain cultures, sparrows are considered either good luck or bad luck.
Okay.
And I feel like that's kind of applicable here. Like good luck for the dog, very bad luck for the driver.
Yeah. Because he was fiercely loyal to his friend. And really only friends because he saw a poor hungry dog and the dog asked for help. Good enough. I will help you and we'll be friends forever. And I
Ride or die.
I will avenge you.
The
if
dog's like,
should
wait, what do you
happen."
mean? He's like, no, just you'll see.
Do you have any other notes?
I don't. No, there wasn't a whole lot about this one.
No. There was a
Oh.
cute version. Oh, go on.
I did actually. Back on the physics note,
Okay.
I couldn't wrap my head around the physics of a horse dying well tied to a wagon and the wagon still continuing on. Like, did the wagon stop during the fight with the Sparrow? Like, did he stop for each horse, and then after he killed the horse, he kind of got down and unhooked it and threw it to the side of the road, and then continued on? It was very strange.
I think, yes, in this story, in our version, they tried to make the best translation, which is to say the most faithful to the time and slang and all that comes with that translation they could. As such, the wording kind of got awkward, and we'll just say the man killed the horses while also riding the horses somehow, and the horses were dying the whole way through. And maybe it's just like a bit of a magic.
Yeah. I think it was there was a brief sentence where like it said like it implied that the wagoner like drove on after at least one of the horse deaths.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's is it just dragging the horse?
It's very hard to do. Yeah.
You know what would have been more of like a neat bow tied on it is if the Sparrow pecked out the man's eyes before being swallowed, and then the man gets the axe in the head, just like the horses.
No, I did like this one. There's a reason it's not S tier.
Yeah.
It's the reason, but I liked it a lot just because of just how escalated the revenge gets, how quickly. I think that there's a couple things I might have changed if I'm just doing a strict review of this. That's not what my pitch is going to be about. But
yeah. Well, do you have a pitch?
I do. I kind of want to go into something else first, real quick.
Oh,
though.
sure. Yeah.
There was a cute version I read where the dog rescued the bird, and that's why the bird liked him.
I saw that too.
Okay, was it Bruno?
I think. Yeah, Bruno.
Bruno. Yeah.
There was nothing about stealing meat from the butcher or anything.
Nope.
The dog doesn't die. They just have a nice little friendship after the dog rescues the Sparrow.
Yeah, the dog rescues the Sparrow, and that's it. The Sparrow's like, well, then you're my friend, but I have to get off to a place where I can migrate. And the dog's like, let me help you. And they just kind of help each other and have a couple of adventures. It's really sweet.
And Bruno watches the Sparrow fly away and is sad, but they, don't be sad that it's over. Be happy that it happened.
Exactly. And what a wonderful little story.
Yeah, that was very sweet.
Yeah. So in my own pitch, I do a little something like that. Start off with a cute story about a dog who goes for a walk one winter's day.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's all sunshine and crisp, even snow. But he sees a crow, because I changed it from a sparrow to a crow because I like crows and I've been thinking about them lately.
Crows are awesome.
They are. And the crow's foot is frozen to a bird bath. So the dog comes and asks, hey, do you need help? And he's scared, but brave, expecting to be ate up, surprised that the dog just breathes on his foot and licks the spot where his leg is frozen and doesn't eat him. And there you go, buddy, off you pop. So the bird says, oh, thank you, but sees where the dog lives and starts bringing him little trinkets that he finds, which greatly pleases the dog's owner because these little trinkets are rings and things, diamond rings from the castle up yonder hill. So all of a sudden the owner's getting rich. The dog has suddenly gotten lots of extra meat in his dish. Everyone's getting fat. It's nice.
Nice.
Oh, but a neighbor sees this, starts getting jealous. He sees what's happening and he kills the dog. Oh, wait, you know what? I might have just made an animal version of the crow.
I like it.
It doesn't matter.
Crow turns into a vengeful human.
Yeah, no. I mean, scrap my other plans. This story is going to be an alternative universe animal version of the crow.
I like it.
Yeah. Jealous neighbor kills the dog and the owner having been good the whole time. And then the crow brings the dog back to life. and then they go on an epic revenge tour of the guy that killed him. Make him part of a gang or something. I don't know if you make them different kinds of animals if we're going to do an animal version of the crow, but
You could start
Yeah.
out like Amelie style with like cutesy little things like sawing
Yeah.
through halfway through one shoelace or like taking the doorknobs off and switching them to the other sides.
that's genius. I know,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and I get how to how
And
I'm
then
gonna have
then
to
end
change
with
this.
brutal murder.
All right, so that's where I'm gonna end things. I have to rethink some things
That's all right.
about my new animal version of the crow,
Starring a crow.
starring a crow, but also dogs and cats and stuff. I like it, and that's kind of what this story is, anyways. Now to think about it, is like it's an animal version of the crow.
Yeah.
Because the sparrow is just like, oh, you killed my friend. Well, then here we go. Ultimate revenge. So, anyways, that's my pitch. Hollywood, you feel free to send a message to us here at the Brothers Dim, and I will gladly take your money and develop this into a story. Mike, is that all you have?
I believe it is.
Okay, well, that's all that I have. So if there's nothing left to say about the story, I think we can call it. Before we do that, however, Mike, is there a way for anyone to contact us if they have any thoughts they wish to share about this podcast?
Yes, or a bag of money for your pitch.
Sure, yeah.
Hollywood, we can be reached at brothersdimpodcast@gmail.com. We're also on Blue Sky at Brothers Dim.
Very good. Thank you, Mike. And thanks to all of our fans for listening. This has been story number 58, The Dog and the Sparrow. Sleep tight, and we will see you next time.
See you next time.